Hello everyone and welcome to the August HU Crafty Club box. This month we are creating some jewelry. I'm calling it Sunshine Bling. This month we are working with UV resin. Now a few months back we worked with epoxy resin. Now we're going to work with UV resin, which is just a different type. Okay. All right, so let's get started by running down some of the supplies. There's a lot this month, but it's like small supplies. I don't know how else to explain it, but so you all have a bottle of UV resin. You have some UV resin tape. You have an assortment of molds, open back bezels, and closed back bezels. You have some gloves to protect your hands, some small measuring cups, paint brushes, some earring molds. These are tiny posts, and you have the accompanying hardware. There's an assortment of bezels and jump rings to use for your pendants that you cast. There's some sticky tack, some popsicle sticks to use to stir, some Mod Podge that we're going to use as a sealant this month, E6000 glue. You have some inclusions. If you remember that word from the first video, we have some inclusions. So this month I gave you random colors, but a like fuchsia, purplish, and a greenish glitter. We have some fruit slices, and then a little bit of sand, and a light blue mica. If you have micas left from previous projects, you can definitely pull those out and use them for this. Some toothpicks in case you need to pop some bubbles, a pair of jewelry pliers, and a jump ring opener, and then a combination of printed and cardstock circles that you can use for pendants. And then last but not least, a mini UV LED nail lamp. So that's all of our supplies this month. I know it's quite a bit. In terms of safety this month, it's pretty simple. UV resin doesn't have the same factors. It doesn't go through the same process and reactions that epoxy resin goes through, so it is a little safer to work with. However, I do want you to take note, if you feel like you're having any trouble breathing, or if your skin begins to itch or anything, you may be allergic to the resin, which is definitely a possibility. So if that's the case, you definitely want to stop using it. For your own protection and safety, we did throw in a KN95 mask. So please feel free to use that as you are working with the epoxy. Excuse me, we're not using epoxy. Please feel free to use the mask as you're working with the UV resin. We've also thrown in the gloves. We highly recommend that you use gloves because this stuff is super sticky. And once it gets on you, or if it gets on you, then you should go and try to wash it off immediately using Dawn dish detergent. Has been amazing for getting this stuff off, but you can also try rubbing alcohol, and some people try vinegar. So some natural elements. Besides that, per usual, just try your best to keep this kit away from children. If children are going to work with this kit, just make sure that they have adult supervision. Okay, let's get started.